Bears Broncos.
Yeah.
Strange game, awesome finish, especially if you're a Bears fan. Bears win 16-14. What's your headline with that one?
I mean, my headline is what the f, okay?
For which team?
For both, okay? For what the is up with your offenses, okay?
Yeah.
What the was up with that horrible roughing the passer call on Bradley Chubb?
Yeah.
Okay,
right.
That was some bullshit right there. I just got to throw a few swear words out to get my anger out about that. I mean, truly, tackling a quarterback now, is roughing the passer. I mean, his head was up. He was trying to, not put his body weight on it. You could tell.
Right.
And to get that call in that situation,
terrible.
That was huge. Let alone, I'm still not buying the fact that they had a second left in the clock. I just don't know if I buy that.
I think there was a second.
You think there was?
Yeah.
There is a moment of you got to wait for the guy to get down and then call a timeout. I think they were very generous in giving him that 1 second. But okay, I'll deal with that. But I do want to give Eddie Pinheiro. Yes, got to give him some love.
Stepped up in a big way.
Phenomenal.
Right?
Yeah, definitely phenomenal. But I think those are the Bears. How can you not have question marks about the offense for the second straight week?
And for you, is it more about Trubisky or the way they're calling plays? Because I can't quite figure it out watching 2 weeks. I know I look at the numbers, and sometimes the numbers can fool you.
Yep.
But these numbers are exactly what they say. Trubisky had 16 completions, only 120 yards. And that's with the 25-yarder.
At the end.
To end the game.
I know.
So is he afraid to cut it loose? And I don't think that's the case.
No, I don't think it is either.
I think that the play calling is so that it's such about gadgets and motions and formations that they don't let him. I wish there was a stat for this. I wish they would let him take 5 steps and read intermediate down the field and see if he can find someone open and throw it. It's like they don't allow him to. His yards per completion and yards per attempt are as poor as any quarterback in the league.
I can get that, and that's a good stat by you. I like that. I'm with you, though, with what you're saying about the Bears. The Bears offense, what is it? This is kind of what I said after the Packers game the next day. Well, tell me what they're trying to accomplish. Yeah, it looks cool before the snap, and people are going here and there, and whoop-de-doo. The biggest play of the game was a speed sweep to Cordero Patterson.
Right.
That was really the only thing that caught them off guard all day long. I do think we kind of jumped the shark, okay, a little bit, and crowning Nagy as Andy Reid Jr., okay?
Well,
I was trying to say this last year a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think their talent on the offensive side of the ball is a little overrated as well. It's a lot of good, but I'm not going to sit here and tell me one player on their offense that's great. There's nothing great about the offense. And I think, maybe I'm probably including this and inflating it a little too, as well as their offense and being excited about it. But I think after 2 weeks, that's the thing that's jumped out to me more than anything.
Trubisky, 4.8 yards per attempt.
Yeah.
32nd out of 32 teams in the NFL. And I think a lot of people made the mistake, and it's only 2 weeks, so maybe it's not a mistake, but I think it's fair to recognize maybe people went in a little bit too much. But prior to the snap, and they won 12 games last year.
Yes, they did.
Pre-snap with the motions and formations, it looks just like what Andy Reid is doing in Kansas City.
Right.
What are they not doing from there that Patrick Mahomes is fantastic.
Yes, sure.
But what is it about what they're doing once the ball is snapped that's not allowing the ball to go downfield?
Yeah, well, I think the big thing is when you talk about the pass game, hey, listen, they don't have, McCole Hardman and Sammy Watkins and Travis Kelce. Those are game changers, let alone when Tyreek Hill's in there. They're game changers, and there's no guy like that on the Bears. Taylor Gabriel, pretty good. He has a little speed, but he's not in the class of the people we just mentioned. Allen Robinson, really good receiver, but more of a guy that's going to be covered, and you can throw him back shoulder balls. He's going to catch 50-50 balls, kind of a good route runner, not going to instill fear in a defense.
Right.
And, yes, when I look at them as a whole, Andy Reid's a master at designing aggressive pass plays. Not at designing something, let me see if I can get a 4-yard completion.
Right.
Andy would be like, oh, that's boring. I'll figure out a way to do something cool to get 4 yards. We'll do a shovel pass or just a little toss speed sweep, whatever it may be. But he puts pressure on you play after play with not only the players, but the schemes themselves attack down the field to where it backs the defenses off. And then the underneath stuff, of course, opens itself up. In Chicago, I just don't see that right now.
Well, they either don't trust him or they're restricting.
I think there's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
I think there's a little bit. I don't think Nagy is as good as we all want to crown him to be. Mm-hmm. And I think Trubisky, reading between the lines, I would think there's something there with him in the inventory of offense that they can throw on him.
Right.
And that conversation started last year, and I think that's probably pretty real.
Cowboys 2-0. And
Ooh,
not only no
baby.
losses, but Dak Prescott is playing as well or better than any quarterback in the league not named Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, holy offense.
Right?
I mean, cha-ching.
Yeah.
I mean, he's about to be the highest paid quarterback in football if we stay on this route.
He's thrown 62 passes and only 11 incompletions.
Dallas.
It's hard to do in 7-on-7.
It's pretty hard to do. And, you know, for Josh Norman to say anybody could do that, that was a low blow. And
Yeah.
Josh Norman got toasted. It's called karma when you say crap like that. But Dak Prescott is like, through the first 2 weeks, if you just had to go like, who's the MVP of football or the most impressive player you've seen in 2 weeks, Dak Prescott would be in that conversation. The Cowboys offense, from what I've seen, and again, I'll watch this film for the Wednesday deep dive, has been really impressive. And like we just talked about with the Kansas City Chiefs, every great offense puts pressure on you to defend the whole field. And that's what I'm seeing from Dallas. You know, they're not afraid to throw the ball outside the numbers. They're taking shots deep. They got the run game to go with it. Zeke looked a step better yesterday. I mean, Dallas, I think, is clearly, through 2 weeks, is the best team in the NFC. I have no problem saying that. It's them and, you know, I'm going to give the Rams their due because the Rams have surprised me as well. No Super Bowl hangover. They've looked phenomenal. But, yeah, I think Dallas would be the leader in the clubhouse for the best team in the NFC right now.
A moment ago, you talked about Patrick Mahomes and the Andy Reid offense and how aggressive they are.
Right.
And Dak right now has some numbers that are even better in terms of how you measure how aggressive an offense is that are better than Patrick Mahomes. He has a higher yards per attempt, almost 11 yards per attempt. I think 7 is kind of if you hit 7, it's okay.
Yeah, you're doing good.
And anytime you go above 7, you're really doing something.
Right.
He's almost at 11, and his completion percentage is over 80.
So that just tells you it all right there. It's not like he's getting little dink and dunk type throws that throw for these great completion percentages like you're saying. He's a different guy. He really is. He's a franchise quarterback. He's showing that he's more than that he's on the verge of superstardom here. And he's showing that he can truly, like the other superstar quarterbacks, can carry a football team. He showed it a little towards the end of last season, the last half of the season, into the playoffs, and it's continued right through the first 2 games here. And, you know, you just think about the Cowboys and you go, okay, the O-line, Zeke Elliott, okay, Witten, Jarwin at tight end, nice combo. But then you start to go, Gallup, Amari Cooper, Randall Cobb, and then Devin Smith, another guy. I mean, they're like the old Raiders where it's just like they just want big and fast guys. And they just keep coming at you. And really been impressed with the Dallas Cowboys. Like, kudos to Jason Garrett for having the guts to get rid of Linehan, go to Kellen Moore. They've made it work. Kellen Moore is certainly one of the biggest question marks for me going into the season. He has been amazing at what he's designed so far and finding shot plays down the field for this Cowboy offense. And even the interception yesterday, I don't know if you saw Dak's interception. Pressure in the pocket, steps up, somebody's about to tackle him, he breaks the tackle, he's throwing the ball over the middle. I think it's Randall Cobb. It's not like an egregious interception. He throws a ball, you know, kind of running towards the line of scrimmage and puts it like, you know, a foot behind him to where Randall Cobb gets both hands on the ball, but the ball popped in the air, interception. And so even the bad isn't that bad right now, and I think that's really encouraging for the Cowboys.
Give me the headlines based off of this game. So what's your headline? Patriots and Dolphins.
Man, teacher was teaching.
I guess so, right?
Right?
And maybe even backed off a little bit.
I mean, I guess he definitely backed off. I mean, you're right. They could have scored 73 if they wanted to.
As much as I would like the headline to be about the Patriots and Tom Brady's terrific, and you said that you would move him up from 9 into the top 5, somewhere in there now. The Dolphins are playing like, and
they're horrible.
Date myself a little bit here,
yeah.
But back in the early 90s when we used to play Northwestern,
right?
That's what it looks like. When it was going to be 46-14 or 56-7 or something. That's college. Like that sort of thing is expected from the top of the conference down to the bottom.
Right.
How is this happening in the NFL?
Total flipping of the roster. Coaches who are inexperienced and they're finding their footing as far as being a head coach, or Chad O'Shea, first-time play caller.
But 102-10.
102-10. Now, they did play 2 of the better teams in the AFC, so we'll say that. But I know there's really no excuse. I got nothing for you. The biggest thing is the roster wasn't that good when he took over. Mm-hmm. They've made it worse because they're trying to flip over.
Yeah.
Whether they're tanking for Tua, or I forgot the phrase they used for Justin Herbert in Oregon. Bustin' for Justin, right? Thank you for Pete in my ear there. And then Florio is even trying to say he thinks that they're really doing a 2-year tank to get Dexter Lawrence.
What?
Yeah, which I don't know if I'm buying. First off, if you have 2 really bad years, Trevor Lawrence of Clemson. If you have 2 really bad years, you might not see Trevor Lawrence walk in the door for that third year of the draft. Right.
If you have one.
So, right. I mean, he's going to be, you're right. If they go 1-15 this year, the pressure's going to be on next year to see marked improvement. But, yeah, they stink.
It just stands out, like, the effort. Every now and then in December, if you're keeping an eye on a game with the team that's won a couple games, you can come in Monday and be like, did you see, fill in the blank.
Yeah.
Looked like they didn't even care. Like, you don't see this in September very often.
No,
at all.
You do not. Well, because they have some veteran players who know what's up. And that's scary.
Jeez. Yeah.
Okay, that's scary. You got the Patriots who are hitting on all cylinders.
Oh, my gosh,
right?
defensively.
Yeah, you get Antonio Brown going early. I mean, hey, so what Gronk's not there? The Patriots are phenomenal. I mean, they got a great O-line. Now that you got Antonio at receiver to go along with, Edelman and Josh Gordon. You got Sony Michel. And then you said it, the defense. The secondary is the best in football. They can match up with anybody.
76-3 this year.
And
you go back to the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
86-9.
89-3. 89-6.
A lot of 9s, a
sorry.
lot of 6s.
Yeah, either way, they're kicking ass the last 3 games.
Ass.
Kicking ass, shutting people out.
Right.
And consolation prize for the Dolphins.
Yeah.
You know what they get to go do this week?
What do they do?
Play the Dallas Cowboys.
Jeez.
Yeah. Have fun with that one.
Right.
21-point underdogs in Dallas.
NFL. Wow.
I would take Dallas right now. I wouldn't even think twice. I would go, not even. I mean, how does Miami score?
Right?
How do they score? I don't even know how it's possible.
All right, let's move on from Pats Dolphins. Cards Ravens. Lamar. How's that for a headline?
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Lamar.
Yeah.
La QB.
Right.
Okay? Not the running back, not the receiver. Lamar.
Unbelievable.
Yes.
I was at and spent a lot of time on the sideline of the last game that they lost last year.
Yeah.
Ravens-Chargers.
Yes.
And Lamar Jackson in that first half made some plays.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Right.
Could see some real potential.
Yep.
But he was 2 for 8 for 17 yards.
Right.
And I walked away from that game thinking, okay, this is a little ways away.
This is a big question.
You can understand. You can watch him, understand why they're invested in him.
Yep.
But this is going to take some time. So he goes from that to being the most efficient quarterback in the league.
It's amazing.
It's outstanding.
It is. I mean, and it does help to get a confidence builder to start the season against the Miami Dolphins, as we talked about. But still, I'm not taking anything away from it because it's the quality of the throws we're seeing too.
Right.
I mean, I'm not taking anything away from Brady yesterday, who diced them up, so I can't do that to Lamar Jackson for what he did last week too.
Right.
And it's the quality of the throws. It's about pinpoint accuracy. It's about little plays where they're backed up in their own end zone and he fits it into a tight window, in between 2 zoning linebackers and throws it to his tight end. It's pinpoint passing down the field. That's the other thing.
Late in the game.
Right.
Pinpoint down the field. I think it was 3rd and 10 or 3rd and 11, and he dropped that one at about 40 yards down the field.
Perfect coverage, right?
Yeah.
Is that Hollywood Brown? He threw it over the outside
I
shoulder.
don't remember who caught it.
I think it was.
But it was a perfect touch on a key 3rd down. I think at some point this spring, and I made this comment to a few people, I like Lamar Jackson too down the road. But at some point, you have to convert a series of 3rd and 7s, 3rd and 8s. You got to move the chains a few times a game on those. It's, from what I saw last year, it seemed like a really long way away. And I give him and the coaching staff a lot of credit.
A lot of credit. Again, another offense. And let's not forget he ran 16 times for 120 yards. Right? He showed Kyler Murray. He's like, you think you're dual threat. Not as dual as I am, okay? And Kyler Murray was phenomenal, too. I mean, again, he's a game changer because he's just got a special arm like a Lamar or Mahomes or Rodgers or whatever. He can just flick the ball. You just go, doesn't look like he's gearing up to throw it. What? That went 45 yards in the air.
Yeah.
And it's just a flick of the wrist. And that's what's impressive. But as we talk about with all great offenses, just like before, Baltimore is making you defend every square inch of the field. And they're making you play to one thing first, which I think is what every great offense do. What's your bread and butter? Your defense now has to stop. We're playing Baltimore. We're worried about the run game because everybody's huge as on their offensive line, and Lamar can run, and their running backs are all good. And so we got to worry about that. So they make you stop that first, and then they're able to do everything else off of it. And a lot of that is because of Lamar Jackson's skill set. And now we got Mahomes next week. for a little battle in the AFC,
Yeah.
right? Which was a great game last year, and I think it'll even be better this year.
And Lamar, 72%, 7 touchdowns, 0 picks. Can't wait to watch that one next week. This next one, we kind of go back to Jags, Texans.
Yeah. I mean,
What you got?
defensive struggle.
Yeah.
Strugglesville, ugly offense. I mean,
I had no problem with the Jaguars going for 2.
me neither. I get it. I have a
Seem to
problem.
be getting beat up a lot for it.
Yes, I have no problem with the 2. I will say if I was going to nitpick a little bit, I don't believe in the play call.
Yeah.
They haven't run the ball all game. You know, Fournette's 15 for 47 yards.
Yeah.
You know, one of those carries was for 14 yards, so that means he had 14 for 33 in the other carries. That tells you you're losing the battle up front. Minshew, the Ginsu, was starting to chop him up there the last drive to where I would have liked to just seen the ball in his hand one more time. He's a good athlete. Let's see if he scrambles around and makes a play like he did to score the touchdown or get them down there in the first place. But really close game. I expected this to be a close game. I think this is the big play that's really being overlooked. And again, I got questions about the Houston offense too, just as we've talked about. I mean, again, what is there? It's every play. It's Deshaun. It's the last play of the game. And it's every play is, oh, it's DeAndre Hopkins. Oh, he's not there. Then where the hell do I go? And I'm going to scramble around and nothing's here and I'm not protected that well. And it's just concerning that way. But the biggest play of the game, because this was the touchdown drive. The touchdown drive for the Texans was 4 plays, 11 yards. Because Whitney Mercilus got a sack fumble and set up the short field for the Houston Texans, or we're going to have like a 9-6 finish or something like that. Or a 12. I mean, it's going to be a field goal fest. But that one little mistake with bad protection on the left side of the offensive line and a younger quarterback, that really was the difference of the game.
Staying in the AFC South, Colts, Titans.
Man.
Looked like it was going to be a Tennessee win for much of this game.
I mean, the headline I guess I want to go with here is Brissett for the second week in a row delivering in the clutch. Now, I know they lost last week to the Chargers, but he did lead them on a game-tying drive to send it into overtime. Those are my questions, the clutch factor with Brissett. And then the other thing is, holy hell, Adam Vinatieri. I mean, that's the 2 things that jump out to you.
Yeah.
You know, 2 extra points missed yesterday, had 2 field goals and an extra point missed last week. He's had 5 missed kicks. You know, I don't know. We thought we might hear a retirement thing
Haven't heard today.
No, because I think the Colts are probably doing their best to talk him to stay and keep playing because they're going, well, we don't know what's on the street. We got more faith that you'll straighten it out than we do just picking up some hobo off the street and thinking he's going to kick it between the 2 sticks. So there you go again. Really, I guess where I would want to start here, and I'm not going to lie, didn't see a ton of this game. Just saw, you know, you're trying to watch 10 games at a clip. But I would just say I still got questions about that Tennessee offense, right? What is it? The passing offense, not that special.
He's been better than.
Been better.
I think it's been encouraging for him.
It is. It's encouraging. There's no question. But, you know, last week they got the turnovers. They got a 75-yard screen pass. You know, they found A.J. Brown on a crosser. He broke a bunch of plays. It was big plays like that. You know, Colts are a sound, well-coached defense with some talent. They didn't let those big plays happen, really. And they had a hard time, I just thought, every time I watched the game on TV, orchestrating and putting drives together to stay on the field. I mean, 1 for 10 on third down, you know you're struggling if you can't, you know, improve those numbers. There, on the other side, Jacoby Brissett, 7 for 14 on third downs. So that's a big difference in the game. And, of course, one team's on the field more and having to deal with more pressure because of that quarterback on third downs.
I just heard Frank Reich had a press conference, and Adam Vinatieri is not retiring.
There you go. They talked him out of it.
Didn't want to go look for a hobo.
No, exactly. The hell with the hobo. We'll go with this guy who's just cold, and he'll figure it out, right?
Snap out of it.
Yeah.
All right, Chargers-Lions. What's your headline there?
Oh, gosh.
With the Lions finding a way to win.
Finding a way to win.
Finding a way to lose.
I mean, looked like the Chargers that we saw 2017 and prior, right?
Yeah.
Just, I mean, whether it's the stupid interception by Phillip Rivers, whether it's the 2 touchdowns that got called back, and then to further that, they fumble the ball on that same. So they score 2 touchdowns, gets called back. Eckler dives in the end zone, fumbles before he crosses the goal line. Detroit gets the ball. And that was like an old school, this is the Chargers and how we find a way to lose a football game. I mean, that's really what it looked like. As far as Detroit goes, you know, Listen, their defense is not super talented. They have good size. They can stop the run game. But I think the thing I saw is I saw a few plays from Matthew Stafford, and Kerryon Johnson's a weapon at the running back position, whether it's the run game or the screen game.
So the Lions maybe 1-1.
1-1.
Enough to be hanging around there in the NFC North.
Yeah, 1-0-1.
1-0-1.
Yeah, because they blew the first game and got the tie, remember? To the Cardinals.
That's right.
So they're they're undefeated.
They
Lions.
haven't lost.
Can you preface that correctly, please?
I think of these ties.
Yeah,
it's
a loss.
Years past. I think of it as a loss.
It is a loss. I want to be like, when you tie, I'm
Lions
like, yeah, you kind of lost.
The unbeaten Lions.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.